Hey everyone, Django Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. I'm back with another X-Wing novel series review, and this is for book 3 of the series, The Krytos Trap. Written by Michael A. Stackpole and coming out in September 1996, and once again, a few months after book 2, 3 books in 1 year, is just still insanity to me. And once again, I must reiterate, this will contain full-on spoilers, so if you want to avoid spoilers, feel free to skip to here, if you want to see my rating and if I recommend it or not. Okay, we're going to go into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Alright, right into the story. As we left it off in the Battle of Coruscant was won by the New Republic, with Corran Horn captured by Ysanne Isard and Tycho Chelko suspected of Corran's suspected murder. So this takes place 7 years after the Battle of Yavin, I think right after the events of the second book. However, things are more complicated than ever, as the Krytos virus was unleashed at the end of the book to the alien population, and the Imperial agents are also making things hard for the Republic by doing killings and bombings throughout Coruscant by Krytos Lore and his agents. But his ambitions to unseat Ysanne Isard becomes an issue for later. No rogues know that Corran Horn is actually alive and in prison at Lushenkia, Isardi's prison facility. Corran meets someone named Jan, and learns that Tycho was not the sleeper agent, and it's actually Arisi Delart. And also finds out that the Lushenkia is actually a super star destroyer buried underneath the surface of Coruscant. Corran escapes and finds a museum and finds a lightsaber, and later finds out that he is a descendant of a Jedi Knight named Nija Halcyon. Anyway, Krytos Lore tries to broker a deal with the rogues with providing Tycho's innocence in the case, which is not looking good for Tycho at the moment. All Lore wants is immunity and sanctuary within the New Republic, and safe away from Ysanne Isard. However, before he gives his testimony, a sleeper agent kills Lore. However, that testimony is not needed because Corran Horn returns and goes to the court to defend Tycho. Ysanne Isard learns of all this and launches the Lushenkia out of Coruscant, and Arisi escapes with her pretending she got captured. Tycho is freed of his charges in the end, and the rogues celebrate with even Luke Skywalker appearing and telling Corran he has great abilities to become a Jedi and wants him to join with the Jedi Academy. But for now, Corran refuses and wants to stick with the rogues. However, they are ordered by Boris Fela not to pursue Isard at Typhera, where there is Bacta. That's the main source of Bacta, and it's much needed for Coruscant at the moment with the virus. Eventually, they all resign one by one because they're refused and not to pursue Ysanne Isard at all, or they will get fired. So they all just resign right there. Resign from Rogue Squadron to stop Isard from controlling the supply of Bacta by themselves. So they just want to do it themselves. So that's how the story ends. I think this time around the story was a little slow, but it did get interesting. It did pick up. It should be interesting to see how the rogues, or whatever they're called now, do to stop Ysanne Isard, because they don't have their vehicles, they don't really have anything. So how are they going to really stop Ysanne Isard? Or are they going to, steal their vehicles and then get out? I have no idea. I'm just kind of guessing. So they're going to pursue her in Typhera, considering they're not formally New Republic forces. And it's nice to see Krytos Lore die like the asshole he is and not get away with it. Because it always seems like he seems to be getting away with it and all this other nonsense, but thankfully he dies off. Cool to see Ysanne Isard was hiding underneath the New Republic's nose the whole time on a Super Star Destroyer. I actually would never have guessed that would be the case. I thought she would be like at a faraway planet in the Imperial space, but that wasn't the case. I do have to reference the Essential Reader's Companion once again. Read about a certain character, Jan character, that was mentioned. So I'm going to read this real quick. Though his last name is never mentioned in this book, the Old Alliance general whom Corran meets at the Lushenkia prison is Jan Dodonna, the rebel officer who led the briefing prior to the attack on the first Death Star. I think you guys know who that is. His presence helps solve a continuity error. The original Star Wars newspaper comic strips distributed by the Los Angeles Times Syndicate from 1981 to 84 depicted Dodonna sacrificing his life to set explosives as the rebels evacuated their base on Yavin 4 while escaping Imperial pursuit. But in 1992, the Dark Empire comic series depicted Dodonna alive and well. I do remember that. Serving as a general in the New Republic years after the events of Return of the Jedi. West End Games, Star Wars The Movie Trilogy Sourcebook, established that he was captured on Yavin 4 and later freed by a rebel special mission. The Krytos Trap and Isard's Revenge would dramatize this in storytelling. So, there is that continuity error fixed and showing that Jan Dodonna was captured and then I guess eventually freed from there. So, that's pretty cool. So, I'm going to give Book 3 of the X-Wing series, X-Wing The Krytos Trap, a... Plenty of cool and great moments from this book, but I did feel it was kind of feeling slow for me, but it still ended up being good, and I do recommend this book. So the next book is called The Bacta War, and I wonder what's going to happen there. Should be exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to please like this video, comment down below, tell me what you think of this book if you've read it in the comment section below, and subscribe to my channel Django Fett, and I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian brothers and sisters, next time. Ooh, yeah!